Hi, my name is Rowan Kempf, and I have performed in a handful of shows here at Galion Community Theater, in addition to volunteering my time, whether it's helping with tickets, concessions, and most recently, I've been helping with our Fill the Seats fundraising campaign behind the camera. Today, I'm in front of the camera because I'd like to share with you how I go about getting into character for a show. Now, I am by no means a professional actor or performance expert, but I'd like to believe a few of the things that I do to prepare are pretty fundamental and can be used by anyone who is looking for a bit of guidance in preparing for a show. So let's say that I happen to be cast in a principal role, like Gaston in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, which I played on this stage in 2017. Now, if you know me, Gaston and I are pretty much polar opposites in terms of personalities. He's strong, vain, a buffoon of a man, while I'm a bit out of shape and tend to think of myself as a solid 7 out of 10. But even while I'm physically and somewhat emotionally distinct from Gaston, there are a few things that I can do to close the gap and become the beautiful man that Gaston always dreams of. First things first, your script is your most valuable tool in preparing for a show. More often than not, the script will provide a description of the character that you can use to start to wrap your head around their presence on stage. Just as well, if you read through the lines of your character and how they interact with other characters, they begin to reveal themselves even more. What I like to do is explore the script and start to imagine the character in my mind as rehearsals start out. In early rehearsals, you have a lot of opportunity to play with how you speak as the character and how you present yourself. This is a good time to come to terms with more general personality traits. Obviously, Gaston is a buff hunter type of man, so he's going to be showing off his muscles a lot and speaking in a deeper, gruffer voice. But not all characters are going to be so straightforward. So as I become more comfortable with the general foundation of my character, I begin to rely on notes from the director, as ultimately it's their vision that I am needing to portray. In addition to getting online and watching others' performances of the same character, maybe even different iterations of the character, like the animated Disney movies Gaston versus the stage productions Gaston. In this process, I'm not looking to duplicate or copy someone else's performance, but I am looking for additional insight into more specific traits of the characters. Subtle things that I would never think of, but could add so much value to the performance. For example, with Gaston, he likes to show off his muscles, we've established that. But how about when he's having a conversation with Belle? He's getting in a workout, doing squats and lunges and circles around her, just a ridiculous display of masculinity. From that example, you can imagine it's pretty easy to get carried away with getting into character. With principal characters and even chorus members of a show, it's very important that what you're doing on stage is never distracting or detracting from the production. It's good to explore your ideas on stage, but you have to know when to rein it in. The subtleties of a show can be just as impactful as the more obvious things, so maybe circle lunges aren't a good idea. One other thing to consider is a character's motivation, which you may hear about a lot from your director. What is your character's motivation? In any instance during the show. For Gaston, he wants to marry Belle, which leads to a lot of romantic gestures, showing off his muscles, etc., in his vain attempt to win her hand. Later in the show, he learns that she's in love with the Beast, which leads to him convincing the mob to charge the castle and slay the Beast. All the while, he's revealing himself to be less of a well-meaning strong man and more of a jealous and vengeful man. Think about how you can portray not only the physicality of a character, but also the emotion that happens underneath it all. Again, if you need help, speak with the director. After all, they cast you in the role for a reason, and they can help massage out the personality and presence that they want to see from you on stage. And those are just a few ways that I like to use to get into character for a show. Explore the script, speak with your director, play with your imagination early on, and look for inspiration online. And the more you rehearse, the more you will come to know who it is you're playing. Thanks for watching, and break a leg.